Hello and welcome to Jardin du Mayfair. Today we are ticking Grail watch pieces off the list with another Patek Philippe, but this is a split-second chronograph perpetual calendar and it's the 5204R. I've never even seen it. Okay guys, here it is, the moment of truth. Always lovely to see one of these boxes, and my goodness me, the grey hits you immediately. Rose gold, grey strap with the grey dial. This is the Patek Philippe split-second chronograph perpetual calendar 5204R. Wow. Thierry Stern, the president of Patek Philippe, says of its grand complication, they are a unique combination of tradition and innovation, the ultimate expression of watchmaking mastery. But for us, it's not only about their technical complexity, they should also be aesthetically pleasing for the wearer. Although our collection of complicated watches could easily grace our museum, we believe that even our grandest complications are at their best comfortably resting on a wrist. Now, I agree with Thierry on this exactly accurate note. So let's take a look at the Patek Philippe split-second chronograph perpetual calendar 5204 in rose gold. Okay, so out come the Patek gloves. We're all on brand today for this very special piece. This is a beautiful watch that manages to straddle both past and present. It's a classic manually wound grand complication cased in precious metal, as they have been since the 1940s and 1950s, but the choice of 40mm diameter and a slate sunburst dial really highlights that this is a modern creation, although the 5204 has been in Patek's catalogue since 2012, it has only been available in this rose and slate combination since 2021. Now, it's been there since 2021 and I haven't even seen one of them yet, so I am so happy to have this here today to show you in Jardin du Mayfair. The grand complication element of the 5204 is that it is both a perpetual calendar and a split-second chronograph, both of which are at the top end of complications in themselves. There are three types of calendar complication in Patek's current lineup. Weekly calendar, which shows the day, date and week number. Annual calendar, which shows day, date, month, and can identify which months have 30 or 31 days and self-adjust accordingly. However, it will still need to be reset annually to account for leap years. The daddy of calendars, the Perpetual, is able to calculate and account for leap years, as well as shorter and longer months. The Perpetual calendar will run to the turn of the 21st century before it requires resetting. So essentially, it will run correctly and in perpetuity for the rest of your lifetime. So if we take a look at the dial, you can see the day, month, leap year and day-night indication displayed in the apertures, along with the date indicator around the lower subdial, which also includes a moon phase complication. The other two subdials are linked to the chronograph with small seconds at 9 and a 30-minute counter at 3. Note the lovely old school Chemin du Feu, that's rail track, print around the subdials, echoing the larger 60-minute track around the dial. Also known as a rattrapant, meaning catch-up in French, the split-second chronograph is no ordinary mechanism. Not surprising, as it makes up part of a grand complication piece. The split-second chronograph is capable of measuring two intermediate times simultaneously by using a pair of superimposed hands. It's very fancy sounding, but what's that then mean in real terms? It can record two events that have the same start but different finish times. When you start the chronograph using the pusher at 2, both chrono hands begin to move in tandem. You can't actually see one beneath the other as it begins its trot around the dial. Such is the tight engineering at play here. When the pusher in the crown is pressed, the additional secondary hand that has previously been ghosting below the main chrono hand stops and reveals itself, so you can measure that particular unit of time without stopping the main chronograph. So press the pusher again and the split seconds hand catches up to the main chronograph hand, which has not been paused or stopped at all. This allows you to record multiple intervals, like laps in a Formula One race, relays, or the time difference between runners crossing a finish line. Now, mechanisms like this are extremely difficult to make to perfect tolerances, and as a result are produced in small numbers. It's the ability to measure split seconds and the rarity of complication that crowns the Rutrapont king of the chronographs. Given that the 5204R packs in a pair of massive complications, it houses them both in a very wearable 40mm case. So while it's smart, it's not a dinner plate. That said, despite being compact, the layout of the dial is exceptionally clear and uncluttered. And what a dial it is. Rather than being brass, this is an 18-karat gold dial which has been treated to a glorious smoky slate grey sunburst, which has been operating since 2004 and is responsible for the dial on this and other models, as well as creating dials for other high-end brands. The rose gold case is traditional, with stepped lugs, inset pushers for setting the calendar and moon phase functions, and the Rutrapont pusher housed in the crown for ease of access. Strap-wise, Patek have made an interesting choice here with alligator embossed calf skin rather than the real deal. I suspect that this is because society is now, of course, moving away from exotic skins for ethical reasons. However, embossed calf is increasing in popularity, particularly when done well, and of course in Patek's case, it is brilliantly executed. If you couldn't tell from the slightly softer texture of the strap, you'd assume it was gator. This coming in at a price of £225,000. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here for another amazing Grail piece unboxing here at Jardin du Mayfair. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe, and I can keep these videos coming. I am told by my technical team that less than 3% of our viewers are subscribed, so please guys, do subscribe so I can keep it coming.